Hey you watching this right now. If you don't click the like button in the next 6 seconds, a bee is gonna sting you right in the nose. Hey, hi, what's up? Welcome back to another video. Today we've got something pretty cool to take a look at. So as a lot of you know, most items in Fortnite are actually based on stuff you can get in the real world. I know, mind-blowing, right? Almost every item in Fortnite is something you could go buy right now. So we're gonna break down the price of Fortnite items in the real world just so you get an idea of how much they actually cost. Let me know down in the comments if you could have any Fortnite item IRL, what would it be? And yeah, without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this and take a look at how much Fortnite items cost in the real world. Roll it. Okay boys, we're gonna start off with an absolute classic. This is something I still miss every day in Fortnite. And of course, I'm talking about the pump shotty, which in real life is the M870 Shotgun, and they retail for about $400. I know, it's a really cheap shotgun. You can go to almost any sports store or gun store in the States and you can buy one, no problem. These things are a dime a dozen, they're all over the place, but they're not in Fortnite anymore because Epic Games decided to kill our little buddy and we can no longer use the pump in Fortnite, and I miss it. Let me know if you guys miss it too. I know we have the tac and the combat, but honestly, they're just not the same. Next, we've got one of the only original remaining items in Fortnite. That is the assault rifle. It's been here from the beginning, and luckily, it's still in the game. Epic hasn't vaulted it yet. Please, Epic, don't take away my assault rifle. I love this thing. So the AR is based on the M16 assault rifle. Now the M16 is a fully automatic military weapon. And for the military, they get guns for very cheap compared to what we could buy them for. So for the military, they can buy a new M16 for about $600. Now machine guns or fully automatic weapons are actually illegal to own in the United States, but they weren't always illegal. They were banned in 1986, but anyone who legally owned a machine gun purchased before 1986 was allowed to keep it. So there are plenty of machine guns out there that were made before 1986 that you could totally own. And there were plenty of M16s that were legally owned by people before the ban. Now, a lot of these guys, they don't want to sell their machine guns because no more can be purchased by civilians, but there are some out there on the market. So I did some research, and the cheapest one I could find for sale was $20,000. Yeah, you heard that right. If you wanted to, right now, you could go buy a fully automatic M16, but it's going to cost you a whopping $20,000. It would, of course, just be a lot cheaper to buy the civilian version of the M16, which is the infamous AR-15. The only difference between the two is the AR-15, it's semi-automatic, it's not a machine gun, it only shoots one bullet at a time. Now, these things cost anywhere between $400 to a few $1,000s. I know the last AR I personally purchased, I got it for about $800. I was done adding scopes and stuff, it cost like $1,200. So the prices really do vary on these things, but you could get a decent one for about $600. All right, up next we have the Burst SMG, which IRL is actually the Chris Vector, which is just such a cool looking SMG. This thing just looks awesome. It's super unique. As soon as you see it, you know exactly what it is. There's no guesswork as to what weapon this is. It looks like no other gun out there, and it's actually not that expensive in terms of weapons, right? Like weapons get to be really, really expensive, and just by glancing at this, I'm sure you would assume it would be some absurd price, but it's not. You can get one for about $1,300, which if you don't know anything about guns might sound like a lot of money, but it's actually really cheap. Okay, here we have everybody's favorite powerhouse sniper rifle, the Heavy Sniper. This was added into the game a while ago, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This is definitely based off of the infamous Barrett 50 caliber sniper rifle, which is just one of the most iconic weapons in the world at this point. Anybody who's played Call of Duty or has watched any action movie over the last 15 years knows the Barrett 50 cal. Now, unlike a few of the other weapons we've mentioned, this one is absurdly expensive, coming in at $10,000. That was the absolute cheapest 50 cal I could find, 10 grand. Now, here's where they really get you with the cost of this weapon. Yes, the gun costs about 10 grand, but the ammo is even more expensive. It's almost $4 per shot, and that was the absolute cheapest, crappiest ammo I could find was $4 per shot. If you want to buy nice ammo for this thing, which you probably would, it can run up to $15 per round. But let's just say you're going to buy $4 ammo. If you had a full inventory of ammo, that being 999 bullets, that would cost you around $4,000. So holy yikes on the price tag there. I just had to throw a few of the classics on this list as well. So we're going to look at the Infantry Rifle next, which is based on the M1 Garand. The M1 Garand might possibly be the most iconic, recognizable, classic American weapon. This thing served for decades as the standard issue military rifle. It served hundreds of thousands of soldiers in multiple wars, and this weapon just has so much history. It's amazing. And you can actually buy them for fairly cheap. The market is just flooded with thousands of M1 Grands, and you could buy a real one for about $1,200. And while we're on the topic of classic weapons, we had to take a look at the drum gun, aka the M1 Thompson Submachine Gun, better known as the Tommy gun. I'm sure all of you are familiar with this weapon. It's used in literally every mob movie ever. And believe it or not, you can buy a real, fully automatic Thompson Submachine Gun for about $30,000. Yeah, I know, I had to slap that one down on you, didn't I? Just ruined your plans of going out and buying a brand new Tommy gun. You can really buy one though for about $30,000 if you wanted a genuine Thompson Submachine Gun. Now you can buy knockoffs or remakes for about $1,500 if you don't care about them being authentic and of course fully automatic. Up next, we have the heavy assault rifle, aka the AK-47, which is one of the most popular guns in the world. There are so many AKs out there, it's insane. Which is why they're dirt cheap. You could buy an AK for around $300 if you want to get a crappy one, but if you wanted a nicer one, about $800 will do just fine. But seriously, these things are everywhere and they cost next to nothing because they've just been mass produced for decades. And oh boys, here comes the big baddie himself, the minigun. Yeah, that's right. You can actually legally own a minigun. Of course, it has to be made pre-1986, which is when the machine gun ban went into effect, but there are some miniguns floating around out there that were sold before the ban that are on the market right now. So if you had, an extra, ready for this, $230,000 laying around, you could be the proud owner of a brand new minigun. But just like the 50 caliber sniper rifle, the price really hits you when it comes down to the ammo. If you wanted to operate the minigun that you just purchased for $230,000, it's going to cost you about $1,200 per 30 seconds of fire. So, yeah, holy crap, rip-a-roni to the bank account. But I guess if you had, an extra 230 grand laying around to buy a minigun, you could probably afford to shoot it. I hope. Up next, we have the hand cannon, which is the Desert Eagle IRL. This thing is just so cool. I mean, who looks at a Deagle and says, that thing looks lame? No, the Deagle is pretty awesome, and I think we can all agree on that. And so is the price tag. Surprisingly, not the most expensive weapon out there. You can pick one up for about $1,300. Okay, up next, we're going to take a look at some explosives. Now, of course, the general population, we're not allowed to buy explosives. You can't have civilians running around buying high explosives. So I looked up the prices for what the military pays for the explosives we're about to take a look at. And first off, I thought we'd start with a bang and look at the guided rocket launcher, which is based off of the FGM-148 Javelin, which has a massive price tag of $126,000, and each missile costs 78 grand. So holy crap, the guided rocket launcher comes with one massive price tag. All right, this is a much more reasonably priced explosive. That is the RPG, which stands for Rocket Propelled Grenade Launcher. Now, the launcher itself is worth about $2,000, and each grenade is worth about $500. Still expensive, but nowhere near as expensive as that ridiculously priced Javelin or guided rocket launcher. Next up, we have one that actually surprised the pants off of me, and that is C4. I was expecting C4 to be really expensive. Turns out, not so much. C4 is about $17 a pound. Yeah, that's it. Honestly, I was expecting this stuff to be really expensive. Now, I don't know how much each piece of C4 weighs in Fortnite, but I'm going to go ahead and just kind of guesstimate that each piece is about half a pound. So each piece of C4 in Fortnite costs about $8.50. Yeah, I know. That's not pricey at all. It's like the cost of a sandwich. Alright guys, lastly we have the grenade, which is based on the M67 fragmentation grenade. And again, I thought these things were really expensive. Nope, they cost about $27 for the military to purchase. Honestly, I was expecting most of these explosives to cost way more than they actually do. So I decided to make the most expensive possible inventory based on the weapons we just talked about. And that would be the heavy sniper rifle with the drum gun, the minigun, the guided rocket launcher, and the RPG. You take those 5 together and it's going to cost you $383,000. Now, of course, that is without adding in the price of ammo. If you add ammo to that, it's going to add another couple $100,000, which is just mind-blowingly insane. That's so much money. That's more money than a lot of people will make in their entire lives. And yeah, boys, that's about it for this video. I just wanted to bring you something you probably haven't ever seen before, because I know on YouTube a lot of content can get to be pretty repetitive with people making super similar videos to each other, so I'm hopeful you've never seen anything like this about Fortnite before. But yeah, that is about it for this video. I really do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to drop a like on it to help it out. Subscribe if you're new so you can watch more videos in the future. And yeah, I'm gonna go take a nap. I will see you guys in the next one. Hope you have a great day. Peace.